Hey legend, in this video I want to help you make more sales on social media without necessarily being a salesperson. I'm going to share some tips and strategies as well as scripts that are going to help you make the shift from becoming a salesperson into a serve person, right? Because serving beats selling at the end of the day. And I don't know about you, but I get so turned off when I meet a sleazy salesman who has a lot of skills, and I'm sure they're doing great. But in the industry that I serve the most, being network marketing, I know that we get such a bad name because people think, oh, you got to sell to your friends and family. I don't want to be a salesperson. You might be good at sales, I'm not. But the reality is, the people who are making the most amount of money here are simply serving. Now, yes, you might have to sell some product. Yes, you might have to sell the idea of building a business. But long term, the aim of the game is to serve someone, to have their mind blown to the opportunity of personal development, personal growth, and personal transformation. You're not selling someone to start a personal transformation. You're serving someone by giving them some different resources to allow them to go, hang on a minute, I'd never gone to a UPW event with Tony Robbins. I'd never heard of Jim Rohn. I'd never heard of Zig Ziglar. But my mind has been blown and open to the opportunity and the possibility that presents to it. That's what serving is. So let's go into some different tips here to help you grow. So usually what you'll find with the sales approach is it's very pushy. They give a lot of scarcity, a lot of urgency. All are good tactics for a lot of people, but it takes a lot of time and skill to be able to build that. They're also very, very transactional. Whereas the serve person, the person who's looking to serve, builds rapport, builds trust, provides value, focuses on the person. And most important of all, is transformational, not transactional. When you focus on transforming someone's life instead of just getting a transaction from them, making a quick sale, you'll make so much more money. And here's the big thing you need to understand and appreciate. When you sell, it's one-to-one. You sell to Bob and to John and to Mary and to Claire and to Sarah. But when you're transformational and you transform Bob's life, this is what happens. Bob will then go to his friends, or his friends will come to him and say, Bob, you look incredible. Bob, what's changed? Bob, you're on fire. Or Bob goes to his friends or his contacts and say, hey, my life has completely changed in the last 6 months. Maybe you can tell, maybe you can notice whether it's a health transformation, a relationship transformation, a business transformation. And they're likely, your customers, your team members, whatever it is you're selling, are likely to generate more customers, more leads, and more sales for you by their life being transformed and not just a transaction. Sales is very surface level, but serving is deep. It creates depth. It creates stability. Do you want a foundation that's just like this, or do you want a foundation that goes for hundreds of meters deep? I tell you what, if you want the surface level, then you can build a house. It's amazing. Great, good for you. But if you want to build an empire, if you want to build a huge skyscraper or a series of skyscrapers, you have to build the foundation deep. Okay, so step one, take the time to listen. The person who speaks the most will lose. So what I mean by that is if your prospect speaks the most, they will lose. They will actually end up winning, but they will lose because they will be the one parting with money. And if you speak more than they do, you will lose because you won't get the sale. So you have to ask good quality questions that you're going to be enabled to establish whether they qualify or not. So imagine this. Imagine you ask a question and you say like, hey, I've got a business. Are you open to it? Right? It's not great, right? That's someone who's looking to just go through the numbers to see who's open to the business. But if you ask like, hey, have you ever thought of going on your own transformational journey, whether it be health, wellness, relationship, or business? Maybe they're going to say, yeah, I've considered it. Then I can say, oh, which one? Oh, a health journey. Amazing. Have you tried anything before? You can ask a series of questions to qualify someone. Now, this does sometimes feel like sales, but remember the mindset. I am serving this person. I am serving this person. I am serving this person. Because if you serve this person and they get the transformation, it spreads like wildfire. If you serve this person and they don't end up buying from you, they might tell a friend, hey, you really need to go to my friend Fraser. I recently connected with him and he's helping a bunch of people on a health transformation. And I'll tell you this, the big difference between someone who's selling versus serving is the salesperson has a script to follow. Someone who's focused on serving doesn't have a script. They have a question that they may ask, but depending on the answer to that question will take the conversation down a different path. It's more natural, it flows more. Okay, step two, this is a big one, it makes a big change, is provide value and resources. So when you're obviously asking different questions, a salesperson will be like, oh, I've got the perfect fit for you. Whereas when you're serving, you could give resources like, hey, have you tried this? Have you done this? Have you done this? No, I haven't. Hey, watch this video, it'll blow your mind. Watch this video. But now this is not video presentations from your company. This is not sending you samples of your company or your product. This is you taking the time to go, hey, watch this video, video. Once you've watched them, let me know. Now you've created a follow-up based on value and not based on sales. And when you have a follow-up based on value, guess what? You're going to get response. And the response is not just going to be, oh, thanks for that. The response is going to be, wow, 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 that's perfect. Why has no one ever told me this before? And guess what happens? They look up to you instead of they looking down. They now go, I need this person, instead of, no, this person needs me. And that's what selling is, in essence. But we're looking at it from the serving perspective. Selling is simply this person feeling that they need you more than this person feeling that you need them. Because when they know that they need you, they'll buy. But that's when you're serving. Step 3, suggest what to do, don't prescribe. Right? Now sales, a lot of people in sales, they go, right, oh, you've got to do this to succeed. If you don't do this, you'll lose. And we've only got 3 spots left, and those 3 spots will probably go within the next 17 seconds. So decide now. I'm dumbing it down, right? There's a lot of incredible salespeople out there who can do it fantastically well. But you know what? I'm not a salesperson. However, I've served hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people now, indirectly and directly. So it would go something like this from a serving perspective. Hey, here's what I suggest you do. Watch the videos that I've just sent over to you, and then come back to me, let me know, maybe we'll have a follow-up conversation and discuss how you felt those videos impacted you. What did you feel? How did they help you transform? Did they encourage you to get started? And then we can go through the next steps. If you want to work with me closely, amazing. If you don't, no worries. If you're in this for the long run, then you're going to be able to take the time to build the rapport, build the trust, to generate the commission. And I will tell you this, over the years I've found that the longer it takes me to build the relationship and the trust, the longer I usually work with that person. The shorter it takes to build that trust and rapport, the shorter I usually work with that person. Think about it. You go on a night out and you meet someone, like just a friend of a friend, and you go on this incredible night out, you built this relationship, and then you don't really see them a year later. Now think about your best friend. You met them when you were 5 years old, and you built this relationship and this trust and this rapport for 20 years. You'll probably know their kids and their kids' kids generations down the line. Step 4, follow up and nurture from a place of relationship and friendship and not just transaction. So here's how a follow-up would go if you were a salesperson. Hey, has anything that you've done furthered you towards your goals? Right? It's quite a good tactic. The transformational, the serving leader would be like, hey Bob, how you doing? I know last time we spoke, money was an issue, time was an issue, your health was an issue. What have you been doing recently to help change that? Now it sounds very, very similar, but it's a question that they want to answer because you've been coming from the place of service. You've been coming from the place of transformation. Now maybe they make a post and you take the time, hey Bob, keep going, keep crushing it. I'm cheering for you. Whereas a salesperson goes, I'm not commenting on their post. They need to buy from me before I comment on their post. Remember, selling is surface level. Serving is depth. Serving is stability. Serving is long term. Now, as we wrap up this video, do me a massive favor. Smash the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let me know down below. Are you going to do the selling route or are you going to do the serving route? I love both. Just for me and what I do, serving always wins. I'm in this game for generations. I'm in this game for you to be able to watch the videos when I'm not here anymore on this physical world. So here are just some common objections that you might have. Won't I make less money by serving? In the short term, yes, probably. But in the long term, definitely you'll make more. I always say in the beginning, you will do a lot for a little, but in the end, you'll end up doing a little for a lot. Why? When you're selling, it's all dependent on you. When you're serving, it's dependent on you generating so many transformations through your conversations and your relationships. The people that you've transformed end up being the traffic generation, lead generation source by telling other people through word of mouth. Because word of mouth is still so undervalued, underappreciated, and underused. The second most common objection you might be having is, isn't this going to take me way too long? Isn't it going to take me too much time at building relationships? I don't like small talk. I don't like building relationships. Most businesses are relationship building exercises. In fact, someone famously said, I'm not too sure who said it, is your network is your net worth. The most important thing you'll ever value years down the line are the relationships that you built. It takes time, but it's well worth the time spent. And the third one is, how do I convince my boss or my upline or my partner or my team to switch from selling to serving? It doesn't have to be a switch, because if selling is working for you, go all in with that if you're good at it. But if you're feeling that you need to make a change, Jim Rohn said, for things to change, you got to change. For things to get better, you got to get better. So what do? You make the switch to serving. You start building the relationships. You start asking good questions. You start giving them, suggestions instead of prescriptions. And you follow up as a good human being with the idea that you're encouraging them on their own journey. Whether they started or they haven't started yet, you're there reminding them, come on, you got this, you can do this. So if you got value from this video, please do me a massive favor. Tag someone down below, share it with a friend. Let me know if you got value from this. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video coming soon. Bye-bye.